Welcome to ChamberCast with Kelli and Saif, a look at the people, places, and events in our community, brought to you by the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, thank you so much for being here. I'm Kelli Vandenbosch, the president of the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're here for our third episode podcast of ChamberCast with Kelli and Saif, and obviously this is Saif.
Hey guys, we're back and we're here with Jennifer at Little Mama's.
So Little Mama's is a newer business on the east end of Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. The space is so different than anything I've ever seen. I just think it's really, really cool. Saif and I we talked about this space together.
Yeah, you love this space.
I do, and it's just the vibe that when you walk in here, the vibe is so it's like electric. And I feel like, the things are here that tell a story. I mean, everything here has a story to it. It's lived another life, and it's ready to live its second life, like with the vintage kind of feel to it. Like you have a whole section full of jewelry, you have a whole section full of vintage clothing, and you do have some newer items too. I saw like the Palestinian goods up front, so that is really cool too. Can you tell me how you got started with this business?
Yes, so I started collecting vintage clothing, wearing vintage clothes in my high school days.
Okay.
And so my collection grew and grew and grew. And then I was a teacher in Chicago, early 20s, didn't have a lot of money. And a friend was like, I've heard of this site called eBay. You should list some of your things on eBay. And so I did. And they went for unbelievable prices at that time in the early days.
Yeah.
So it added to my meager teacher salary, and I was hooked.
Yeah, that's so cool. And obviously you were getting, people were saying that you found some really cool things, right? I mean, so you do have an eye for that. And the name of your business is Little Mama's.
Yes.
And from what I understand, there was a little mama who was your mama.
Yes.
She sounds, like a wonderful person, had an eye for that kind of thing, very, very kind, and I see that in you. So is that how you obviously got your name, the name for the business, doing that for her?
What a catchy name.
I mean, I love it.
Little Mama's.
And her
Little
logo.
Mamas.
Your logo is awesome. Like I'm telling you
you.
everything about this place. So she was an integral part of this for you, right? You learned kind of maybe through her how to find things.
Yes.
You have the eye from her.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
So
All right.
she was known definitely for her fashion sense.
Love it.
And some of my early memories are going into the basement, and she had saved some of her clothing and loved to dress up in her finds from the 60s.
Love it.
And then would look at pictures and would say, why didn't you keep these things?
Right.
So when I started selling vintage, she was all about it, because she was definitely, I think I get my entrepreneurial spirit from her.
Okay.
So she was all about it and would go shopping in Dearborn garage sales to find treasures, and she would definitely find them.
That's great. Now, was this when you were in Chicago?
That was when I was in Chicago, and I started doing shows there.
Okay.
And so she would come to Chicago and help sell, and she was in her element.
That's so cool.
Yes.
I think I remember us talking, offline about that. You would have, would you do like community shows like in Chicago, where like you would like set up kind of like a booth outside your house, something like that?
Yes, I would do vintage shows.
Oh, yes.
But then also the neighborhood that I lived in was a big artist community. So they would have a First Friday art walk.
Okay.
So I would set up outside of my home, and through the months became known for my vintage finds.
That's cool.
So are you from Dearborn?
Yes,
Born and raised?
Yes, born and raised in
About here,
Dearborn.
or what area?
West side.
West side of Dearborn.
Yes, and then
Dearborn High? Did you go to Dearborn High?
went to Dearborn High. Yes. Yes.
She's a cake eater.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. But in my high school days, there were a couple vintage stores over here. One being Retro Image, that's still here across the street.
That's cool.
So
There was a music store. Is this still around?
No. Oh, Stormy Records.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
there we go.
Yes.
So that's great for, our communities. So Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, are you listening to that? Maybe, for the communities, we start something like that, like a what did you say, Fourth Friday, or what did you say, something like that? It was like
First Friday.
First Friday,
Friday.
something like
Second
that.
Friday, yeah,
Where,
exactly.
neighbors can come together and have,
Absolutely.
like, I know that on the west end of Dearborn, they have the Edison Street sale. And that happens every year. I bet you
Yeah.
go there, right?
Yes,
Do you? Okay,
yes.
yeah. Because they have, and people don't know what they have, which, although nowadays I would say maybe more people do know what they have now
Yes.
than eBay,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
So when you do
definitely.
get something, when you do find something, you know what you got. So you're not getting those great deals anymore.
Kelly,
but-
even in West Dearborn, where the is it the Wagner place?
Yeah.
Right behind, they close the street and they do a street sale.
Yeah,
and
the
then-
farmer's market.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
That
yeah.
would be a cool spot too to
yeah.
do something like
Do
that.
you participate in that, or
I have not. I
Okay.
shop it, but
maybe,
I have
maybe
not
this
yet.
year, this summer?
Possibly.
All right, that's cool.
That's neat. Or we can say, hey, Jennifer's right down the street. Come on down to East Dearborn and check out her
Yes.
space too. Maybe put some,
Exactly.
yeah.
Kelly speaks highly, number one, about you, about your character, and then this place, she loves it. And then I walked in, and it was remarkable to see the maps and the pictures on the wall. I know there's a story behind this. Did you come up with this idea?
I did come
Okay,
up with this
all right,
idea.
okay,
Yes.
Okay. Can we talk about it a little bit?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
So first, I guess I'll start with the pictures.
Okay.
Before the shop, I had a shop on wheels.
Yes.
So a camper, vintage
Okay.
camper, and to be quite honest, I don't even know how I came up with the idea, but something came to me that in the dressing room, I did all black and white photos of vintage women.
Love that.
And
Love
everyone
that.
loved it. So I thought I would carry that idea into the shop.
Yeah.
So on my main wall, I have photos of people that I found at different estate sales.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yes.
didn't realize that. That is
Yes,
really cool.
Yeah, and most of them are from the area. I would say like 95%. So
Okay.
we've actually had a couple people come in
Yeah.
and one person saw their
lot of history
sister. Yes, yeah,
lot of
exactly.
history.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aw.
And then in the dressing room, it's all friends and family in there.
Okay.
In the good old days of getting 2-for-1 photos, and you have all these photos, and what are you going to do with
Exactly.
that? So,
Shoot, I have
Yeah.
some photos up in my attic. I should
Right,
bring
yeah.
bring some over and have you swap
Exactly.
some up.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
see, that's the good old days when we used to actually get film developed.
Yes.
Safe, you might be too
Exactly.
young to remember that. Are
Yeah.
you?
I don't know. No, I still remember that.
Okay,
no, yeah,
okay,
I still
cool.
remember
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
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 Used
Yeah.
to go to CVS or one of those stores
Yes,
with my
exactly.
dad, get them,
Arbor drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So on the other walls are plaques from when all of the neighborhoods in Dearborn were established. So I was at the Dearborn Historical Sale and saw the books of them. And at the time they were selling them, like you could find your neighborhood and buy one. And I thought, I can do something with it. I don't know what, but I'm going to purchase them and see what comes to me.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, I know what I'm going to do with them. And
Wow.
the walls are now covered.
Just-
So it's fun to see people come and try to find their neighborhood on the wall.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's so cool. Yeah, that was one of the things that when I first came here, I thought, wow, that's amazing. And then the story behind it's even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to find your subdivision and your space is really fun. It's like, where's Waldo? Trying to spy
Yeah.
spy for it. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting too because the names of the
The
different,
streets.
yes, are ones that we don't use anymore.
Exactly.
But it's interesting to see.
Yeah, what they were.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think
Yeah.
probably some of them were named after possibly the farmers that
Oh,
owned
gosh,
the
right.
land.
I see
Yeah.
Fairlane Town Center.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
right
are
there.
probably the most
Yeah,
modern.
and then, yeah, the
Okay.
Office Park, Dearborn High View. These are all familiar. So that's, so you grew up in Dearborn and then decided to move to Chicago, become a teacher,
Yes,
right?
I went there for school, for university, yeah.
What brought you back to Dearborn?
So my father passed away unexpectedly.
Okay.
And
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And tried to move my mom to Chicago, and it was just too much for her. So I came back to care for her. And at that time, she was like, let's open up the store. This has always been your dream, and let's do it together. And she wanted to be the chief saleswoman here.
Yeah.
So
That's sweet.
Aw, I like that. So you came back for Mom.
yes.
Yeah, and now you're here.
Yes.
And I had said this, I think, at the beginning of the podcast, that you are on the East End. You're in East Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. What drove you to this space?
I think, as I said before, the vintage stores were over here. Retro Image is still here. There's Blick Art, the comic book store, Green Brain, the art lofts, and I thought that kind of went with the vibe that I was looking for.
Yeah, that art.
Small, yes, independent businesses, and I feel that it's better when you have a group of businesses businesses together. It brings more people out.
I agree
So,
with that. Yeah, 100%.
You're right.
Yeah.
And how was that process?
And how long did it take you?
a very, very,
Oh, wow.
very, very long time.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was like, unfortunately, like disaster after tragedy
no.
after.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
So like
You
3
know.
steps forward, 2 steps
Yes,
back kind of feel.
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, sadly, my mom passed away.
Okay.
There were health issues, the floods,
Oh,
broken
right.
pipes. It was a very, very long process. Many times that I said, we're selling this business, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And my husband kept pushing and pushing and
Yep.
said, this is your dream. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. And here we are.
That's wonderful. So he was a big support.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And kind of kept
100%.
pushing you, even though you said, no, this is too hard. He said, no,
Yes.
no, you're
Yep.
going to keep going. I love that. That's
Yep.
that's a good hubby.
That is.
That's
yes.
really nice.
I walked in the store, and I immediately noticed the diverse inventory that you have, right? How do you select your product, and then how do you cater to your customers?
So I mostly go to estate sales and thrift stores. And I guess people tell me you have an eye for it. And it's kind of like my Zen moment going through the
Okay,
racks and
okay.
finding things that catch my eye. Everything here has been cleaned and mended. That's very important to me, that somebody takes something home and they can just wear it. They don't have to worry about that part of it.
I'm looking at the rosemary. I'm looking at the different, like the Ford Cup, the Dearborn Cup. I mean, you have a section of Dearborn, a taste of Dearborn in a lot of your inventory. Up front, I noticed something. Basically, is it the Palestinian kufiyah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that, what's so special about that to you?
Well, my grandmother was a survivor of the Armenian genocide
Okay.
as a child. So that's a huge part of my history in growing up and hearing her story of survival. And was in an orphanage in Lebanon, in Beirut. And I remember as a small child, she would see when there was the famine going on in Ethiopia. And it stuck with me, seeing her cry and saying, I look like that. And you just, like the person you love most in the world, like you just can't imagine that they had to see these kinds of atrocities. And so I was brought up with never again. And that goes to whatever marginalized group. And, for a long time, we've seen what has happened in Palestine. And so I see what's happening, and I think to my grandma, and it's my very small part in doing what I can to give back.
You're so special. I mean, truly, that's wonderful.
It is
That's
very
wonderful.
heartwarming.
What was your favorite piece you've ever gotten? Your favorite piece, which is probably home with you, I would think. You don't give those favorites out. And what was your best pick as far as like a financial pick where you said, holy smokes, I can't believe this is sitting here and I'm going to grab it right now. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
2 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, with pick, I would say probably it would be something from my mom. Of the
Okay.
few things that she's
So I like you
saved.
love your mom.
Yeah.
Like me, I love my mom.
Yeah.
My mom was number one.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear, it's Safe. You are a good-hearted.
I
This
love Mama.
this guy. You are so good. Yeah.
Oh,
I
thank
mean, she did
From
good.
your mom.
You
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you and your pop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pops and her did a good job. But
Yeah.
yeah. So your mom,
Thank
a pick from mama.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And financial.
Yes.
This is going way back, but I found a scarf for
Oh, nice.
25 cents, and I was like, I just knew that this scarf was something. When I saw it, like, you know, in the middle of hundreds of other scarves, and then I
Okay.
pulled it out, and then I saw the name, and it was Hermes. And I was like, is it for
Wow.
real? Is it not for real? But I did my research, and it was silk and hand rolled.
Wow.
And I mean, this is going back probably 20 years,
Yeah.
again, on eBay, and I sold it for almost $900.
That
So my
is-
25 cent, it was 25 cents, and
Wow.
What a
that was-
return on
yes,
that one, right?
exactly.
That's amazing.
Very rare that this happens.
Right,
but-
right. But now, I would feel like if that happened to me, I'd be like, oh God, I have the bug now. Like, I got to be out there. I got to be out there seeing what's going on, right? Like, what can I
Yeah,
find?
that's
Because
funny.
you've got that eye, you know, that's amazing. That's good stuff.
That is dope. That is nice.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of clothing that I could, you know, my husband would be happy if I gave it to something. Do you do consignment or?
I actually do not.
Okay.
My inventory is very vast, so I have
Okay.
enough
Oh.
things to stock the store for a very long time.
That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
great.
Yes.
Do you have everything at home, or do you have
Yes.
it? Oh my.
Yes,
Okay.
and here.
Okay, okay.
Also, yes.
Okay. So
My
you.
basement.
James is like, are we ready to do a free?
Exactly.
That's her husband.
Yes,
Oh, that's
exactly.
fun. You also have a little sidekick that comes around the store often, right?
Yes.
Little Sweetie.
Sweetie,
right?
yes.
So if you do come in, you might see Sweetie. Who is Sweetie?
Sweetie is the shop dog. Sweetie was fostered at a local mechanic shop.
Oh wow.
My husband had to have his vehicle repaired a few times, and each time he's like, you have to see this puppy, you have to see this puppy, you have to see it. I was like, I don't need to see the puppy.
No, thank you. No, thank
Because
you.
we already have 2 dogs.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh my.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
all
exactly.
right.
And I had just fostered a couple puppies, and
You were not
yes,
in the
no,
mood for that.
no.
Okay.
But she was such a good dog, and she was in this mechanic shop and all the noise, and she wouldn't. She'd just stay on her bed, and
How
so
cute.
she's the perfect shop dog. Most people will come in, and at the last minute will like, oh, there's a dog here.
That's what happened to me. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my goodness.
Is she here?
this-
Is she here now?
She's not
She's
here.
not here right now. No,
Oh,
I
man.
didn't.
I wanted
You'll
to see
have to come
Sweetie.
back and see
Yeah, I gotta come
But
back and
Sweetie.
see
you
her.
dress her up super cute too. Like
Yeah.
she's super cute, but she's so like easygoing and like you would not know.
Totally.
And with people walking in and out, she just really doesn't.
No.
She's just
Small
just here.
dog or what's?
She's smaller,
Okay,
like
small.
40
Okay.
pounds, but she's very tiny.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone,
She's a
that
good
was
girl.
her foster name was Sweetie.
Okay.
And when you meet her, you'll know.
A
Like
good cuddle.
there was just
You cuddle
you
with her
could
at
not-
night? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
the name
adorable.
I love
fits
dogs.
her perfectly.
I love dogs.
Aw.
So Jen, Kelly has a book, and I got some Dearborn themed items here. For me, looking around, I can sense the history, right? The Dearborn history. How do you find stuff like this?
They find their way
This
to
is
me
cool. I'm
somehow.
gonna buy something like this. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
With vintage, you just can't find it.
You can't find it. You can't
anymore.
find it.
Yeah. Pop-ups.
The pop-ups, yeah.
Yeah.
How
so
often?
how often? Do you have one coming up?
So in a type of pop-up in
Okay.
March, we will have the Girl Scouts here selling
Nice.
cookies.
Adorable.
So if you need your cookie fix, March 8th, I believe
Okay.
it is, we will have them popping up here.
March 8th.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the back, we have an open space, and so of course, we're in Michigan, so we have to wait till the warmer weather comes. But we'll also have some pop-ups in the back, and we've had someone here selling sourdough bread
Oh, nice.
products.
Yum.
So,
That's really cool, because that to me, you know, is the president of the chamber, just seeing you helping other entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. It really does take a village. Sometimes it takes a village, and just giving that opportunity to them is wonderful. So Jennifer, you have some really cool items here that like I said, I really enjoy coming here and seeing what you have. In fact, I got this from Little Mama.
Yeah, can we talk about your blazer?
Right, I mean, isn't
Let's
this
talk
the
about this
cutest thing?
beautiful
That-
blazer.
Hello,
Yeah.
it's perfect, and it's so cute, and when you come and visit this space,
Yep.
you can see all this cute stuff too. Your entrepreneurial spirit, and you know, it seems to me that you were, you know, grown up with that, with your mother and things like that. And we were so happy to have you join the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Nice.
And the Chamber does a lot of different things for businesses. You know, we do networking opportunities, you know, there's business resources. What was the reason that you decided to join the Chamber?
I mean,
Because
to
Kelly's
me,
the
it was
president.
I mean, there you
Right?
go, number
There you
one,
go.
exactly.
Aw, you two are too sweet.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Number two, to me, it was just a
Yeah.
no-brainer. I see everything that the Chamber does for businesses in Dearborn, and again, I mean, to support something in Dearborn, in the city that we're located, is very important to me. And again, just seeing everything that the Chamber does
Wonderful.
to help, and being a new business and having no
Right.
idea what I was doing, the Chamber
Right.
definitely helps.
Oh,
So,
good.
yes,
Yeah, and
highly
we're-
recommend.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
sweet. And you
Yes.
know, we're here throughout your whole career, you know, so we can maybe discuss having like an after hours in your space like that, and bringing people like that. We can definitely, you know, talk more now that you're open and you're thriving. Now we can kind of get you to the next step. The Chamber has some great things coming up in April and May. In April, we have our Teacher of the Year Students' Choice Awards in conjunction with the Dearborn Public Schools. And this is a great event because it's the students that are nominating their favorite teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
isn't
didn't know
that?
that.
Isn't
I didn't
yep,
know that.
Yep.
Okay.
So you know, they are handwriting, or they're typing it up online.
Okay.
Who their favorite teacher is, and then we award them a $1,000 cash prize.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
wonderful.
So it's pre-K through second, third through fifth, middle school, high school, and we just started doing the adult education
Okay.
Teacher of the Year. So you can join us on the 17th of April. Come see who we actually award those cash prizes to. And then coming up in May,
We got something big coming up.
we are bringing back, which we're really happy about. It didn't happen last year. We're bringing back the Chamber Choice Awards and Expo.
Listen, that's big.
It's huge.
You guys got to be there. You got to nominate.
So yeah, we have 3 awards that we're giving out this
Okay.
year. The Business of the Year Award,
Okay.
a Startup Business of the Year Award possibly,
Yep.
and a Community Leadership Award.
Okay.
Nominations are up right now. You can go to our website and you can, or you can scan the code that's going to be on this page, and you can nominate your favorites. Then join us on the 9th for a fantastic expo.
Yes.
If you're a business and you want to have an expo there, we would love to have you. And then we do our awards luncheon.
Okay.
And
Kelly, I noticed the QR code.
Yeah.
So you can just scan the code
You got
and
it.
then nominate your hero, community hero
Absolutely.
or startup. Okay.
Yep. 3 different codes, one for the Business of the Year, one for the Startup, and one for the Community Leadership Award. It
Okay.
takes you right to a Google form. It's super easy. Don't let this lie. Get out there and start nominating. We want it to be a really hard decision to pick somebody. It's going to be at Pellister Park.
Okay.
Yep, the venue, which is right off of Ford Road. Yeah.
Okay. So start nominating people. We have some great people in this community. So please, May 9th, right?
May 9th.
Let's see you May
Yep.
9th. Yep.
And one more thing, Taste of Dearborn's coming back this year. So Taste of Dearborn is on June 18th, and we're hoping this is just bigger and better than it's
Yep.
ever been. I am so excited. This is really, I love all the events, but this is a fun one.
Yep.
This is a fun community event that everyone's invited to. So you can order your tickets right now.
How does that work, the Taste of Dearborn?
So Taste of Dearborn is basically like a restaurant crawl
Okay.
up and down Michigan Avenue on the west end.
You
If
get in
you're-
a shuttle?
You can get on a shuttle. Yep. Now, if you're watching this and you're a restaurant and you're not located on Michigan Avenue on the West End, we can actually house you at the library.
Okay.
Outside the library.
Okay.
But we don't have a lot of spots there. So if you want to, give me a call. And then we're going to go around. We're going to take those shuttles. We're going to take people up and down Michigan Avenue, or they can walk.
Okay.
And we're going to take them over also to the canteen at Midtown.
Okay.
So we'll have a kind of like a one going back and forth.
Kelli,
there.
do you sleep?
No.
Okay.
Lots going
got a lot
on.
going on, huh?
Lots going on,
Yeah.
but it's exciting, and I really I want our businesses to thrive. So yep.
Well,
So we'll see you hopefully
yep.
soon.
Well, make sure you follow the chamber, follow the podcast, share us, please. And I think that's the beauty about having Kelli around and these ideas she's bringing, is to bring people together, right? Networking
what
and
it's
relationships and fostering these relationships are very important for business owners.
Yes.
And I think that's the space that the chamber is creating for its members.
Yeah, we're trying. We're definitely trying.
Yeah.
Just a little shout out for the chamber. We're doing monthly eye openers. So every second Tuesday of the month, we are holding an eye opener in the morning. Every fourth Thursday of the month, we're holding a small business lunch. And then peppered throughout is our signature events.
Nobody's working harder than us.
I mean,
Nobody's working harder
Thank you,
than Kelli
right?
and the
Yes.
team and Beth and John. And the chair. I mean, nobody's working harder than us.
We're trying.
I'll tell you that.
We're trying.
I was at an event yesterday,
Yeah.
and somebody came up to me. Actually, I'm gonna say his name, Ron, from the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber,
I know
and
Ron.
he was like, "Man, this podcast, Kelli, you got going on with Kelli at the chamber. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, I'm watching it, and it's fun. Coming from him, like you said,
Yeah. It means a lot.
It is a lot, and that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer, thank you so much for hosting us here in your space. Not only is the story about the vintage items in here great, but the story about the building, you're just a delight. So I appreciate you having us here.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Both of
much.
you. I appreciate
You've been
both of you
awesome.
coming
Yes.
You've been
here.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, can you give us a little commercial about your business? Let us know where your socials are, because everyone needs to start following her. Let us know about your hours and the address.
So we are Little Mamas. We are located in East Dearborn, 14233 Michigan Avenue. We are open Thursdays and Fridays from 12 to 6, Saturday 11 to 5. We have vintage items, Dearborn items, some small business items, lots of cards, greeting cards from independent designers. Come visit us. Just come and say hi.
Come say hi to Sweetie too.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah, Sweetie, make sure.
And I'm serious, you need to make like a little Saturday afternoon out of it. Go
Yep.
grab a coffee from Haraz Coffee,
Yep.
and come over here and see Sweetie and buy some fun stuff. Take a step back in time when you come in and look for yourself and see how cool it is.
And when they come in, take a picture, tag Little Mama,
I love that.
and tag the
Right?
chamber.
Yes, please
Please.
do. Please.
Little Mamas Vintage on Instagram
There you
and
go.
Little Mamas on Facebook.
Awesome. Thanks again, hon.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
for
both
having
of
me.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
thank you.
appreciate both of you being here.
ChamberCast with Kelli Saif is a production of the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce in conjunction with John Zadikian Multimedia and Visual Ronin Media Productions. The executive producer is Elizabeth Curran. Our theme music was created and performed by Harper Vandenbosch. Comments made by the hosts and guests are reflective of the marketing objectives of the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce and those businesses that are highlighted. No part of this program can be edited, revised, or replayed without the formal permission from the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce. For more information about the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce, or to be a guest on one of our upcoming podcasts, please contact the Chamber at 313-584-6100 or visit www.dearbornareachamber.org. ChamberCast with Kelli Saif is copyright 2025.